Hello, my name is Ben Nignish, and this is my speech about 9/11. September 11th, 2001 was a day that started out like any other, till a devastating attack forever changed the United States. Today I'm going to talk to you about the tragic event of 9/11, a terrorist attack that took nearly 3,000 lives, and how it changed the United States forever. 9/11 isn't just a tragic date in our history books. It's a historically significant moment that shaped America to what it is today. I will be covering three main aspects of 9/11. What happened on that day, the impact it had, and the long-term effects it had on the United States. Let's start with an overview of what happened on 9/11. There were 4 commercial flights that were hijacked by Al-Qaeda terrorist group. And these coordinated attacks involved 2 planes that crashed into the World Trade Center, one in the Pentagon, and one in Pennsylvania after passengers heroically prevented the attack. The immediate casualties were civilians, first responders, firefighters, and law enforcement. Nearly 3,000 were killed that day, a day that will never be forgotten in the hearts of the American people, says Jocelyn Fissette from ABC News. Now that you know what happened that day, let's discuss the immediate impact it had on the United States and its people. First, Americans felt fear and shock of what just happened and began a national mourning. Grief was felt around the nation as heroic stories of loved ones and first responders started to surface. President George Bush then declared a war on terror. The nation was scared and broken, but this gave them a sense of unity. The American people were heartbroken initially, but the long-term impact it had only strengthened and united the people. Huge changes in national security were seen following the events of 9/11. The Department of Homeland Security was created, and airports started incorporating full body and luggage scanners. The war in Iraq and Afghanistan intensified, leading to many deaths and causing many conflicts around the world. After decades of conflict, Iraq today has a relatively stable government, and the car bombings, suicide attacks, and death squads have all subsided, says Ziena Karam from AP News. When we remember the events of 9/11, it is important to focus on the sacrifices and the impacts that it had. Today I discuss the events of September 11th, 2001, the impact it had on the world, and the long-term effects it had. The tragic events of 9/11 will always be remembered in the hearts of all Americans, not only because of the lives that were lost, but because how it has shaped the United States into what it is now. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
My question is, how many people were involved with the terrorist attack? Because you mentioned Al-Qaeda was the organization responsible for it, but how many people were directly involved with the attack?
Yes, so how many people were directly involved with the terrorist attack? There's 19 known people that were involved in the events. Are there any other questions?
With all the aftermath and everything, was there anything created at the site? Can you still visit it? What's the deal with that?
Yes, so was there anything created as a memorial? Yes, in fact, there is a memorial that you can still visit today. It is a very popular destination to go see and mourn over the people who lost their lives that day. They have 2 water stations that light up during the nighttime, and many people go just to check out what had happened there. Are there any other questions? Yes, sir.
You mentioned Al Qaeda. Who do people generally hold directly responsible for the attack or consider to be the leader of the attack?
Yes. So who was responsible for the attack and who was the leader? Osama bin Laden has been the person who has been the leader of the attack. Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you for listening to my speech. I hope you all have a good day.